Hello students, my name is Gandharva Hemant Pednekar, Research Associate, School of Development Studies, Tata Institute of Social Sciences, Mumbai. I will be discussing about the module on consequences of international migration. In this module, we will learn about consequences of international migration, socio-economic consequences, the relation between immigration, remittances, and poverty, health, education, maternal health care services. Migration is a complex human process which has been in practice since ages and refers to permanent change of usual place of residence. People migrate from one place to another in search of livelihood and for better standard of living. International labor mobility is a means to secure a better life for the migrants and their families, and India is no exception to it. Globally, it is estimated that around 214 million people were international migrants, constituting about 3% of the world population. The share of international migrants in the world's population has remained remarkably stable at around 3% over the past 50 years, despite factors that could have been expected to increase flows. Mostly, researchers have focused on explaining why people move from one area to another. Since last one century, economists and social thinkers and researchers have debated the initiation and perpetuation of migration. Basically, three types of levels or theories, which are micro, meso, and macro level, are generally found in the literature regarding association between migration and remittances and its linkages with development. Micro level theories like Lee's theory of push-pull factors, behavioral models, neoclassical migration theory, etc., focus on individual migration decisions. Macro level theories like social capital theory, network theory, new economics of labor migration, etc., look at aggregate migration trends and explain these trends with macro level explanations. The meso level theories like dual labor market theory, world system theory, etc., is in between the micro and macro level, that is, on the household or community level, and can explain both causes and perpetuation of migration. International migration plays a significant role in reshaping the social circumstances of immigrant households, and the most tangible of these are remittances, the income that migrants send home. Remittances is directly related with development of sending places and provide much needed resources for immigrant households to achieve that optimal balance between coping with immediate needs and challenges, minimizing risk, and creating opportunities for future. In the socio-economic consequences, we can see that migration is a decision that affects the welfare of the household, the home community, and in the end, the whole community or economy in various ways. Income is one driver, with people migrating in search of paid employment. Early studies have also reported that migration can lead to positive change in both sending and receiving areas. Migration can help to reduce poverty or to halt the slide into poverty. It also helps tighten rural labor markets. While migration has economic, social, and cultural implications for the sending and host societies, remittances the migrants send home are perhaps the most tangible and least controversial link between migration and development. The direct result of immigration is remittances, and an explanation of this outcome has been a matter of discussion among scholars. Most of the early researchers have deduced the effect of migration negatively, and argued that this promotes spending on unnecessary consumables as well as the full or partial dependence of the household members on remittances. On the other hand, some other researchers consider the positive aspects of immigration and remittances, arguing that expenditure out of remittances on consumption may not necessarily be futile as it contributes to social, cultural, and economic development through financial and social investment. It also acts as a means of risk sharing and provides security from any unwanted financial crisis. Remittances are very important for many households in case of developing countries like India, where 56% of remittances are spent to meet day-to-day expenditure, and they are also utilized during expensive social rituals and traditional transactions such as dowry. Additionally, remittances help in improving the quality of life by increasing the family's expenditure on education, healthcare, housing, and other necessities. They also provide capital for setting up an entrepreneurial venture. It has been argued that remittances empower the lives of the left behind family members of the migrant by providing them an opportunity to take control over their social circumstances and in decision making for themselves as well as their other family members. Thus, remittances have a complex bearing on the lives of immigrants as well as the left behind population, and many researchers show immigration is a strategy to improve life chances. We'll now talk about immigration, remittances, and its effect on poverty. On the issue of immigration, remittances, and poverty, the literature is clear. Most studies show that remittances reduce poverty at the household level. However, this optimistic finding are supported many research evidences and play a significant role in reducing poverty at the household level, and also support the growing view that remittances increase investment in developing countries. Similarly, Haas 2005 uses a cross-sectional and participatory appraisal approach from the southern Mexico to find that remittances play a vital role in elevating poverty at household level as well local economy and improving the livelihood of millions of people. Also, immigrants' households invest more than others in housing, agriculture, and small petty business compared to non-receiving remittances households. In the same vein, Fraser and Mazzucato 2014, using kernel matching approach and calculate average treatment effect between remittances receiving households and non-remittances receiving households. It shows that remittances have a positive and major effects on non-productive asset such as living condition and food security. In urban Burundi, and remittances also play a significant role in unwanted crisis, and same finding which is given by Lopez Videla and Machuca in Bolivia 2014. He shows that remittances have a positive effect on alleviating households poverty in urban Bolivia, whereas there is no effect on rural households poverty because migration is a selective process and associated with high level of cost. Meanwhile, in 2012, Soto and Brown also estimate the effect of remittances on poverty in Tongo, and results show that remittances reduce the incidence of poverty by 31% and the depth of poverty by 49%. On the other hand, Edwards and Oregia 2009, using kernel and nearest neighbor matching approach, find that no systematic difference in labor force participation in remittances receiving households and reject the hypothesis that regular flow of remittances create household dependency on remittances. Ratha 2007 made a strong statement that migrant remittances are most tangible and perhaps the least controversial link between migration and development. In addition, remittances play a crucial role in reducing poverty at the household level, as 10% increase in per capita official remittances may lead to 3.5% decline in the share of poor people. Remittances are positively linked with increasing the productive and non-productive assets. Now we'll discuss about immigration remittances and its effect on education. On the issue of remittances and expenditure on education, the literature is twofold. Most studies show that remittances receiving households have a lower school dropout rate, and these households spend more on private tuition for children. According to Salas 2003, using panel data by using a two-step estimation in Peru 2007 to 2010, he found out that international remittances have a positive effect on the likelihood to send children to private school. In a similar vein, researchers also find positive effects of remittances on a school enrollment. However, this optimistic finding, neglected by Feng Hu 2012 in rural China using Probit model, finds that migration of adult household member has a negative impact on high school attendance of left behind girls' children in rural China. While the remittances can partially compensate for this loss, and Acosta, Finzilber and Lopez 2007 found a negative effect of remittances on educational attainment in the Dominican Republic. This view, also supported by Meza and Pedazzini 2008, stated that remittances in rural Mexico have a negative effect on school attendance. Now we shall discuss about immigration remittances and its effect on health. There are various ways through which migration and health are linked. Migrants leave their place of origin in order to seek employment at the place of destination, which is alien to them socially and culturally. The place of destination could pose serious problems in the access to food and nutrition, healthcare services, besides harsh working conditions, inadequate housing and living conditions, influencing the health status of migrants. Migrants are also exposed to the diseases and health risks of host society as well. It is also possible that some migrants could carry the communicable diseases and spread among the fellow migrants as well as among the host population. The diseases like tuberculosis, polio, HIV/AIDS, various forms of influenza, etc. are likely to spread through migration. Thus, there exists a strong link between health and migration. Migrants are not a homogeneous group, but are differentiated by age, sex, ethnicity, education, and skills. The unskilled and semi-skilled migrants are more likely to be affected by health risks due to their low income and awareness, and also due to lack of support to their healthcare needs. Many such migrants not only work hard to increase their income but squeeze their expenditure as well to save more and more for sending remittances back home, even at the cost of their health. They are also less likely to be covered by health insurance and health services provided by the employers. The international migrant workers, being non-citizens, are not appropriately covered by the healthcare services provided by the host countries. They have to depend upon their employers, if specified in the contract, and their own support and income. Further, their legal status could be a source of discrimination at the place of destination, and they may not get same level of health care in diagnosis, treatment and preventive services that the citizens might be receiving in the whole countries. Apart from economic, social and political factors, language barriers may also work against the migrants in seeking health care. The health status of migrants, their vulnerability to ill health and their health seeking behavior are also influenced by several factors operating at their place of origin. Among them, migrants' awareness about their healthcare needs prior to migration, information provided to them on health risks, and required preparedness by the native governments, civil societies, and other stakeholders are crucial for good health of migrants at the place of destination. Now we shall discuss about immigration remittances and maternal health care services. On the issue of migration remittances and maternal health care services, the literature is twofold. Most studies show that migration improves the maternal health care services of rural households and communities through the utilization of social and economic remittances, fertility differential, health seeking behavior and sexual behavior. According to Lindstorm 2006, using data from 1995 Guatemala Survey of Family Health and Multi-Level Regression Models, he found that significant positive association between migration and maternal health care services in rural Guatemala. Similarly, Canaypani and Donato 1999 in a study of Mexico-US migration find evidence that suggests migrant remittances lower infant mortality in the long run through the cumulative effect of remittance flow on household spending and community development. According to Zakaria, Matthew and Irudaya Rajan 2001, using the Kerala Migration Survey, it finds that the receipt of international and internal remittances is associated with greater use of private hospital facilities to healthcare services and a threefold increase in the use of private hospitals for antenatal care and safe delivery. Similarly, Lopez and Chi 2012, using the data from 2004 National Demographic and Maternal and Child Health Survey using interaction models, showed that having an international migrant and remittances increased use of healthcare services among low-income Ecuadorians. Hildebrandt and Mackenzie 2004 also find overall improved health outcomes in migrant families. In the same vein, Drea, Lopez and Olmedo 2005 link remittances to the acquisition of healthier conditions, and they show that decreases in infant mortality rates due to remittances can be further explained as resulting from the acquisition of better infrastructure through monetary remittances. International single male migration has a profound impact on the left behind women in addition to impact on standard of living in households. The influx of remittances helps in improving their status on hand, self-esteem and confidence on the other. Long physical separation coupled with accumulated workload and responsibilities may increase the mental stress on the left behind women. Some of the studies have highlighted that male migration has negative impact on family in terms of family dissolution, psychological stress on women and breakdown of traditional family system. On the other hand, studies conducted in Kerala, India on left behind wives of immigrants to Gulf countries noted that after immigration of males women had to take up major responsibilities and decisions as well as interact with outside world, which they had may never done before, and greater involvement of left behind wives in decision making, which ultimately increased their status in family and society. Thank you. Zakaria and Irudarajan 2014 also showed in the table on household remittances during 1998 to 2014. In the year 1998, the remittances was 3530 crores. In the year 2003, it became 7965 crores. By 2008, it had touched 12511 crores, and by 2011, 15129 crores. In 2014, it reached to 4374 crores. While in case of total remittances in Kerala in crore of rupees, in year 1998, the remittances were 13652. In year 2003, the remittances was 18465 crores, and 2008 43288 crores. In 2011, it reached to 49695 crores, and in 2014 71142 crores.